Hi, I'm so happy to be with you this week. And this week's meditation is around birth and rebirth, around connection and interconnection to our highest selves, to our highest consciousness, to our highest awareness as we are each and all moving through this corona pandemic. So many of you have celebrated either Passover or Easter this week. So, what does this have to do with the corona pandemic? If you extract the wisdom teachings from both Passover and Easter, these wisdom teachings are each and both about moving from a lower state of consciousness to a higher state of consciousness. Where Passover is concerned, they were passing over from a land of enslavement, of imprisonment, into a land of freedom, liberation, being unencumbered. So when we look at this teaching as an inner teaching, as a wisdom teaching, we see that it is a metaphor and it represents the opportunity for us to move from our own lower states of consciousness, our own lower vibrations, and to rise up and to move into a more elevated state of consciousness, a consciousness that is free and liberated right in the midst of this corona pandemic. The same for Easter. So the teachings, the wisdom teachings of Easter are about burning off, dying away to the old, to have the old within us literally burn away, die away, and to rise up, to be birthed again, to be rebirthed, to be resurrected into a higher, into a more elevated state of consciousness. So I don't know about you all, but I can tell you for me and for every single client that I have worked with during this time and am working with during this time, there has been a burning off of the old, a dying off of the old. And we can look at ourselves and we can see, as we are self-sheltering, as we are quarantined, as we are living in our own homes, this represents how are you living in your own consciousness? How are you living in your own heart, your own soul, your own spirit? And how are you holding on to and resisting letting go of the old, letting go of the ways that you are imprisoning yourself? You are holding yourself captive. You are judging yourself, perhaps. You are being hard on yourself. You are pressuring yourself. You are scared. You are nervous. You are anxious. You are frustrated about what's going on in the world, what's going on maybe in your own home. These are ways that we live, that we imprison ourselves. And then how might you be holding on to that old and not wanting to move through the fire of transformation? Because what is consistent about transformation for all of us is that it's uncomfortable. And so when we're in the midst of transforming and when we're holding on so tightly to the old before we, blossom into the new, typically, generally, universally, what happens is that we want to go back. We want to go back to the old way, even though it's uncomfortable, it's familiar. And so we want to hang on there. And that makes it even more challenging to transform because we end up suffering. We end up holding on rather than being willing and allowing ourselves to take a deep breath, to be willing to be uncomfortable, and to hold a vision, to hold an intention, an intentionality to rise up into your next level of consciousness, into your highest self, your highest consciousness. There is a higher consciousness beckoning you. There is a higher consciousness calling you right in the midst of where you're finding yourself in your home, because we are each and all evolutionary creatures. We are encoded to want, to seek, to evolve, to transform, to rise up into that reason why we came here to be on earth at this time, our purpose. And so each one of us, right in the midst of, your own home, your own quarantine, your own sheltering. There is a purpose and it's calling you. There's a higher consciousness. There is your highest self and it is calling you. And then obviously collectively, we are all being called to join together and recognize that truly we are all interconnected. We need each other. We're interdependent. I can tell you that to the client, each one of my clients has expressed to me the desire, the need, the real seeking and longing to speak to other people of like minds, of like consciousness. There's just an ache in our heart to be able to communicate and to connect with someone else who understands and who can meet us at a higher level of consciousness. So as we're moving into this time of meditation and we're getting ready to close our eyes, I do just want to say as an aside, I'm doing meditations on my Facebook page, Soul Care Sanctuary. You can reach out through email. I have a couple of email chains going on, or I should say text chains going on, Zoom calls where we're checking in every week. We are hungering right now for collective community where we can talk and connect to people of like minds, like hearts, and high consciousness. So stay connected during this time. So let's meditate. Let's gently close our eyes. And as you gently close your eyes, this is signifying that you are interested, you are willing, you are intending to turn away just for these few moments from your outer world so that you can rise up in consciousness and then bring your highest consciousness back into your world. So gently take a deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. One more time, deep breath in and exhale. And simply become willing to become aware of any places in your own consciousness, how you're moving through your day, how you've been moving through this self-sheltering, this quarantine time, this pandemic. Just become aware, begin to observe, become the witnesser of how you've been moving through this time. And as you become aware of how you've been moving through this time, have a gentle heart with yourself. Have deep compassion. Clearly, this is an unprecedented time. You have never had to move through this time before. Perhaps you have many children in your house and you're having to be a mom and a teacher and a place of safety and safe harbor. Perhaps you're alone. We're each in different outer situations, but we are all unified in that this is an unprecedented time for us. And there is a calling within us that is calling us to rise high, to meet your highest self. So have a gentle eye, a gentle heart in how so far you've moved through this time, and be willing to meet your highest self. There's something that's wanting to burn off in your consciousness, to die away, so that you rise up and come out of this time new, reborn, renewed, refreshed. That you're being called to shake off the old and meet the new, rise up into the new. Who are you when you are unencumbered? Who are you when you are liberated? Who are you when you are free of the generational patterns, the generational energy that has enslaved you? Allow yourself to meet your new self. Meet your highest self. This place that has been waiting for you. Meet this place, thank this place, set an intention that you will walk hand in hand, heart to heart with your highest self today. Give yourself permission to blossom. Give yourself permission to thrive. Give yourself permission to be all that you came here to be during this time. Your staying small assists no one. Give yourself permission to thrive, to blossom, to bloom, to flourish during this time. That is how you are of the most assistance to those around you. See yourself blossoming, see yourself blooming, see yourself rich, see yourself enriched during this time, that you have such richness, such wealth within you of wisdom, of light, of inspiration, of creativity, of wholeness, of well-being, of centeredness, of anchoredness, abundance, prosperity, calm, serenity, peace, wholeness, joy. These are the qualities that are calling you to infuse your home, infuse those around you, infuse your conversations, infuse your community. Be the light, be the lighthouse today. So I am deeply grateful for your commitment, your intentionality, and your willingness to simply sit and be present so that you receive the gift of this time. So acknowledge yourself, appreciate yourself, give yourself a big pat on the back, as one of my clients has been saying. And then whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. So I'm so grateful. Please refer back to this meditation over and over and over this week. Use it. Use it in your spiritual practice. Use it in your meditation time. Again, I have a Facebook page. It's called Suzi's Soul Care Sanctuary. I'm doing meditations Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. They're always on that page if you can't make it live. I have a 6-day soul care challenge where you receive a video from me every single morning around self-care and soul care during this time. There's nothing more important than giving yourself that permission to stay connected so that you're not dying on the vine during this time. So I have many free resources on my website. Please avail yourself of all that I'm offering. Stay connected. Email me, message me, stay connected, ask for assistance, book a session, purchase a class. Most of my classes are $100 off. You know, avail yourself of any kind of support that you need to rise into your highest self during this time. So much love from my heart to yours, from my home to yours. And until next time, much love, everyone.